Thank you for joining us for American Medicine Today, brought to you by the Bonati Spine Institute. I'm Kimberly Brummel, along with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. Alfred Bonati. Along with us is Ethan Euchre and Jeff Wagstaff, and we have a special guest on the phone, Dr. Bill Miller, and he's here to discuss 6 surprising things about you and your microbes. And he's a leading expert on the hologenome, and
No clue what that is.
Neither do I, but
we're about to find out, I guess.
We are.
Dr. Miller, are you there?
Yes, I am.
I guess the first question is, Jeff said during the break, what is the hologenome? And please don't talk over our heads because...
No, I won't. The hologenome recognizes that nature doesn't see you as a single organism. So, for example, when you look in the mirror, and when anyone does, you see your reflection, you see yourself as a single being, and that's what you assume. But that's not really the way it is. There are 10 times as many cells that are not you types of cells, not part of your intrinsic cellular makeup, than are part of you.
I have heard that before, that there's, just pulling a figure out of the air. There's 1 billion cells that are you, that are human, but there's 10 billion microbes and germs and bacteria.
It's even more than that. Wow. And what we're learning, because we have new and better ways of investigating, is that the amount of viral material is absolutely astoundingly larger than that. But the point of it all then is that you are not a single organism, you are a collaborative. And there are enormously important medical implications that come from that, and actually will change even the way we regard evolutionary theory. So the next big wave of medicine, there was anesthesia and there was antisepsis and obviously bacteriology and new and potent drugs have been found. The next big wave of medical practice and medical therapy is going to involve understanding how we are a collective enterprise, each and every one of us. And it will change how we understand immunology, metabolism, even how we treat things like mood disorders.
Okay.
So you have the ability, or those physicians in your field have the ability to manipulate those microbes based on different symptoms or different desired results?
Well, I'll give you a quick example that has already worked its way into medical practice, and I'm not sure whether your listeners are whether this is going to please them particularly, but there's a new therapy that has just been being actively investigated for inflammatory bowel disease, people that have
like IBS,
chronic diarrhea. There are a few specific diseases that are categorized as inflammatory bowel disorders. One of the new treatments is called a transplant. They'll take stool samples and transplant from healthy people to unhealthy people. What they're doing is manipulating the microbial life inside the gut, and that has a very positive association with a marked decrease in inflammation of the gut line.
Yeah, Dr. Miller, I think I've heard about this, by the way, and it just sounds disgusting. I mean, you're basically taking someone else's feces and putting it in your body. And
I didn't think your listeners would be that pleased with it, but yeah.
But it works, right?
But that's one of the first things that has been considered. This is just the very beginning of a completely different way of looking at, particularly at metabolism. And metabolic. Well, let me very quickly. How often do people say, "Oh, I have a nervous stomach," or "It has been a gut-wrenching experience"?
Yes.
Well, we are accustomed to thinking that the brain interacts with the gut, and it will influence that part of our body. But what's also just as true, but inapparent to us, is that the gut is going the other way too. There are more neurons. There's more nervous tissue in the gut than in the spinal cord.
Wow.
And we're only learning now how sensitive and how remarkable this back and forth, this feedback is between these things. And that's just one body part. The gut is the area that is being most actively investigated. But every single part of us is covered by microbial life. and each of them form their own ecologies, their own environments, and they influence us. That our teeth are very important ecologies. It is very likely we're going to find that there's a direct association between oral health and cardiovascular disease. That's actually pretty solid information already.
Don't tell us that there's all kinds of disgusting things in our mouths too, because that's just really going to ruin it.
We don't even want to go there.
I think we already know this, so let's just keep from going there.
I just have a question though. When you were talking about implanting some of those microbes into people suffering with bowel problems, is it a one-time thing and it's a one-time fix and then they're cured?
I don't know the answer to that. I think that's still being worked out. But with respect to your listeners thinking, well, what impact would this have on me now? I think it's important just from the general sense that everyone wants to be informed when there's an important new change in medicine that's occurring. But secondly, I think we're beginning to understand that we need to use our diets in an experimental way for each of us to see what works for us. So there have been a number of experiments with probiotics, different kinds of probiotic yogurts, that show that some people will feel better having taken them and restoring a certain kind of balance. There have been a number of research projects that are showing that certain people will feel significantly different when they have worked to manipulate the kinds of microbial life that's inside them. And I don't know that we can offer specific remedies at this time, but I think your listeners can become aware and attuned to their bodies, understand how they feel. If they get up in the morning and they're not feeling right, their joints ache, they're lethargic, their mood is bad, they may need to look at their diet and see whether they can experiment with replacing one thing for another and see whether or not that makes them feel better.
Well, I don't, Dr. Miller, I don't think I'll be experimenting with the feces that you were talking about. But
no, that's
I'm kidding. We're about out of time, Dr. Miller. A lot of great stuff can be found in the book, The Microcosm Within: Evolution and Extinction in the Hologenome. Very interesting stuff. Dr. Bill Miller, thanks for joining us on American Medicine Today, sir.
Thanks. I appreciate being on.
All right,
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
I know I'm never going to look at myself the same in the mirror.
I don't think anybody's going to look at themselves with anything other than disgust from here on out.
Wow. Okay. Well, I certainly learned about my microbes and myself. Coming up on the flip side of the break, Dr. Patricia Laumann. She is the co-discoverer of a cancer vaccine. Interested to hear more? You're listening to News Radio 970, WFLA. Revolutionary in his field, Dr. Bonati created, perfected, and patented the Bonati spine procedures. Using his genius, Bonati invented precise tools necessary to minimize surgery, scarring, anesthesia, and recovery. So successful are the Bonati spine procedures, they consistently reflect over 94% patient satisfaction. 45,000 successful procedures have been performed exclusively at our location. Nearly half our patients suffer from failed back and neck surgeries at other facilities. Bonati succeeds where others fail. The Bonati Spine Institute is proud to announce more than a 94% patient-reported success rate in over 45,000 patent-protected spine surgical procedures. Call us today at 855-267-0483 or visit us at bonati.com.
All my pain is gone. Gone.
Today I am totally pain-free. Nothing. No after effect.
I'm pain-free, and I have had to take any pain medication.
Today I am pain-free for the first time in over a year, and it is so awesome.
I only wish I'd known about it earlier. Right now, I am completely without pain.
Sitting here in this office right now, pain-free, eager to enjoy the rest of my life.
I am feeling great.
I feel 100% better, like a new person.
Today I feel absolutely fantastic. It's just incredible, the relief I feel right now. Today I'm completely pain-free.
During the procedure, I literally felt the pain melt away. It was fantastic.
I feel so good.
It took care of my headaches instantly.
It's incredible. It's really incredible.
It gave me my life back.
It's just wonderful.
I feel fantastic.
It is just absolutely amazing.
So I'm hoping to be climbing hills in a few weeks.